Combo Arena, and after months and months of waiting, the 2016 NFL schedule was finally revealed. I've been waiting for this every year, and I'm excited to see this, and I'm going to do a reaction to it. Now, as always, because I've already looked through the schedule already, and they got a lot of games right, but they also got a lot of games dead wrong. Some games are too early or too late in the year. Some games are not meant for a night's time, but they're put on Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night. Some games are on the wrong nights completely. Some games are only meant for Thursday night, Monday night, or Sunday night, and they do it wrong. Oh boy. But let's start off with week 1, and finally they listened 2 straight years in a row and they got it right. That kickoff game, a rematch of Super Bowl 50, Panthers at Broncos. Oh, I can't wait to see that. And then we go for the rest of week 1. They look very interesting. Buccaneers at Falcons, Vikings at Titans. Although, then again, the Vikings stadium is probably not going to be fish time, so I guess it would make sense to put them on the road to start off. Browns at Eagles. They went against each other in the first week last time they met in 2012. Bengals at Jets. I'm surprised. That should have been kind of like a Monday night. Raiders at Saints. That'll be interesting. Bills at Ravens. Bears at Texans. Packers at Jaguars. Oh, I feel bad for the Dolphins because they got to go to the Seahawks and then to the Patriots the first 2 weeks of the season. Oh, I feel bad for them. But then here's where they really fucked up. Giants at Cowboys for 4 p.m. For fuck's sake, these teams were... well, the Giants weren't necessarily terrible, although they were pretty bad near the end of the year. But they had a losing record, and the Cowboys went 4-12 last year. That was the worst season they had since 1989. This should not be 4 p.m. This should be 1. And then we get to the Sunday night, which is fan-fucking-tastic, Patriots at Cardinals. But it's awfully early to do this matchup. It would have been better if they did this like in November or December, but in week 1? Not really a good idea to do it that early. But then we get to the Monday Nighters. Steelers at Redskins? No way. Redskins are probably going to regress this year. Steelers will probably thump them. And then we get to the West Coast Monday Nighter. Rams at 49ers. This would be interesting if it was at the Rams instead, since it's supposed to be Rams' first game back in Los Angeles. Wouldn't it be better to have the game as their first game back as a Los Angeles team to host their former arch rival? You should have thought of that, NFL. But now we get to week 2. And then we get to week 2 for first Thursday night game, Jets at Bills. That would be interesting. And then Bengals at Steelers. Oh man, I think it actually should have been at the Bengals first off, so we can get a rematch from the playoff round of last year. And how about that Chiefs at Texans, a rematch from twice last year? Oh boy, that would be interesting. Of course, I'm sure the Chiefs will fuck them up like they did last year. And then the Rams will finally make their home debut in Los Angeles again after 20 years hosting the Seahawks. And then Colts at Broncos very early on. I don't think it would be that early. And then for the Sunday nighter, Packers at Vikings, as the Vikings will play in their first game in Bank of America Stadium. I'm not so sure about that. Although, because don't forget, the Packers did fuck the Vikings up when they were at them last year. So maybe this could have been a little better if it was at the Packers. But I'm not going to complain much about that. But then we get to the Monday Nighter, Eagles at Bears. No. They're both god-awful bad. They don't even deserve probably any night game at all this year. Well, we get to week 3. And first off, Thursday night would be Texans at Patriots. I'm not so sure about this, because the Patriots have really fucked up the Texans a lot these last 4 times they played against over the years. But then we get to Raiders at Titans. That went down to the wire last year. I can't wait to see that. Ravens at Jaguars. Because remember, that's revenge from last year, because the Jaguars really got lucky against the Ravens last year. Lions at Packers. Could the Lions make it 2 in a row after finally winning it for the first time in, 24 years? Broncos at Bengals. Now I'm going to get to this in a second, because this should have actually been the Sunday night game. Vikings at Panthers. That'll be very interesting. And then we get down to Jets at Chiefs. Oh, I can't wait to see it, even though the Chiefs did clobber the Texans, the Jets earlier 2 years ago, I believe. And then we get to the Sunday nighter. No! The Bears, I told you, are terrible. The Cowboys are fucking terrible. They should have done Broncos at Bengals. You know, they really... really need to stop focusing on, ooh, the Cowboys and Bears and all these other teams. They have a big national following, so they'll get better TV ratings. Fuck that shit. It should only be based upon the matchups and the records from last year. The Cowboys are 4-12, Bears are 6-10, so no, they shouldn't be going up against you on Sunday night. But Falcons and Saints on Monday night, that'd be interesting. But I think it would have been better if it was at the Falcons instead, because that went down to the wire last year. I mean, really, NFL, you're going to give the Bears 2 night games to get things started? Oh, jeez. And then week 4 starts off with Dolphins at Bengals. Well, because the Dolphins are not good probably this year. And Bengals, I think, are going to struggle this year. So I'm not so sure about that. Then we get to the first London game. Remember, Colts at Jaguars. And then how about that? Browns at Redskins. RG3 going to make his return. I can't wait to see that. Seahawks and Jets. I can't wait to see that. Panthers going to the Falcons, the team that gave them their only loss last year. Oh, that would be interesting. And Raiders going to the Ravens. Lions going to the Bears. That'll go down to the wire. And how about that? Broncos going to the Buccaneers for a 4 p.m. game. That's awfully strange, I believe. But then the Sunday night Chiefs at Steelers, not bad at all. The matchup between the 2 wild card teams last year. Oh, I can't wait to see that. But then, oh God, Monday night Giants and Vikings. No! The Giants are not good at all. Well, they're good on paper, but when they play, they aren't. And remember what happened last year when the Giants were at Vikings? The Vikings beat them, what was it, like 45-17 or something like that? No! Take this out of Monday night now! Alright, then we get to week 5 with Cardinals at 49ers on Thursday night. It did go down to the wire last year, but remember the Cardinals were 13-3, the 49ers were 5-11, so I'm not so sure about that. But then we get to Texans at Vikings would be interesting. Jets at Steelers would be very incredible. I can't wait to see that. Again, then we get to Bengals at Cowboys. Again, the Cowboys are fucking terrible. This is a lopsided game, and they should not be at 4. But then, oh God. Giants at Packers on Sunday night. Oh God, they don't listen. Because I think the Giants played the Packers last year, didn't they? May have to look that up. But come on! The Giants do not deserve all these night games, especially against a lot better teams. Come on! Stop giving them so many night games. But then we get to Monday night or Buccaneers at Panthers. It probably would have been better if it was at the Buccaneers. But it was kind of a very close game when they played last year at the Panthers. So I'm not going to complain much about that. Now we get to week 6. And then we get to week 6 with first night being Broncos at Chargers. Because wasn't it a blowout Broncos win last year there? And Chargers, when they went to the Broncos last year, the Broncos beat them by only a touchdown. So it probably would have been better if it was at the Chargers. Hosting the if it was at the Broncos, But then again, that would have been 3 straight times on Thursday night they play against each other. So probably be better if they did switch it around a bit. And then Eagles at Redskins, a matchup between the number 1, number 2 spots last year in the NFC East. Panthers at Saints, that'll be incredible to see. Then Bengals at Patriots, no one's gonna give a shit about that. But then we get to, oh my God, Cowboys at Packers. Oh God, I don't get how they could want to promote a 4-12 team so badly. What did the Cowboys gotta do? Do they have to go 0-16 before you not put them on so many 4 p.m. or night games? God. But then Colts at Texans for Sunday night. That'd be good. But it would be better if it was at the Colts, since that went right down to the wire. Because the Colts really fucked up the Texans last year when they were at them. But then we get to Monday night Jets at Cardinals. Oh, I can't wait to see that. Oh man, that'll be great. But it sucks that Cardinals won't be hosting. I think they may be playing on CBS this year. I don't know. But now the week 7. Alright, now we get to week 7 with, oh jeez, Bears at Packers on Thursday night again. Oh my God. For God's sake, the Bears have been at the Packers on primetime 6 straight years. Sunday night in 2011. Thursday night in 2012. Monday night in 2013. Sunday night 2 straight years in a row. Now Thursday night again. First off, this match should not even be a night game at all, because the Bears fucking suck. But if you're going to put them on night, make it be at the Bears for once, for fuck's sake. And then we get to the second London game with the Giants at Rams. Colts at Titans. That went down to the wire last year. I can't wait to see that. Saints at Chiefs. Vikings at Eagles. Redskins at Lions. That would be pretty interesting. Raiders at Jaguars. That would be very interesting. Then Patriots at Steelers. That would be great. Then the Sunday nighter, Seahawks at Cardinals. Probably should have been at the Seahawks instead, because remember the Seahawks fucked the Cardinals at their place last year. But the Monday nighter, Texans at Broncos. Oh, fantastic! And now to week 8. And then the week 8, Thursday night, Jaguars at Titans. Because they've gone against each other 3 times in a row now on Thursday night. But they finally put it at the Titans, which was a great idea. And then Redskins at Bengals, because that'll be the final London game. Chiefs at Colts, the first rematch since that incredible wild card game 3 years ago in the playoffs. Remember that? Raiders at Buccaneers. Oh, Jameis Winston, Derek Carr going against each other. And then let's look at the rest of it. Nothing really good. Damn, Chargers and Broncos gonna play each other that early after each other? Wow. Then Cardinals at Panthers at 4. Not so sure about that. But then, oh God, not again. Eagles at Cowboys on Sunday night. Now, to their credit, it did go into overtime last year, so it wasn't like it was a blowout. So at least they got some respect, some sort of leniency for this one. But even so, this shouldn't even be Sunday night. This probably would be better off for a Monday nighter. But in the end, this shouldn't even probably be a night game at all, because the Cowboys fucking suck, and so do the Eagles. And then we get to Monday nighter, Vikings at Bears. Oh God, Bears fucking suck. But it was down to the wire last year when they hosted the Vikings, so I could let that slide. Alright, then we get to week 9, and I had a good feeling they were going to do this matchup for Thursday night, Falcons at Buccaneers. And then we get to Lions at Vikings. That'll be interesting. And then, let's see the rest. Oh, Steelers at Ravens at 1 again. For the first time in years that the Steelers and Ravens are not going to be playing nighttime against each other. Even though last year, because remember last year, both their games were supposed to be at night, but they moved the last one till 1 because the Ravens were terrible last year. And then the Colts at Packers. I'm not, like, everyone's like so excited about Aaron Rodgers against Andrew Luck. I don't think it's gonna be that good. It's probably gonna be a blowout because the Colts suck, just like we saw last year. But then we get to Sunday night, Broncos at Raiders. This is great, but honestly, it probably should have been at the Broncos instead, since that's how. Because remember, the Raiders in that game, when they hosted the Broncos last year, had the lead for the majority of the game until they blew it in the end. And then in Broncos' case, when they went to the Broncos, it was the opposite when the Raiders came back. That would have been much better. But then the Monday night, this is completely out of nowhere. Bills at Seahawks? Well, Bills fans, I hope you're ready to get blown out on Monday night, because that's what's most likely going to be. And then we get to week 10 with Browns at Ravens on Thursday night. Oh my God, when the Browns go to the Ravens for since 2010, they've all come down to the wire. This will be great for Thursday night. And then Monday night, Broncos at Saints, for some reason, gets a lot of my interest for some reason. Chiefs at Panthers. This would have been a perfect Monday night for this week. Bears at Buccaneers. Vikings at Redskins. And then we get to, well, Cowboys at Steelers. No, not really good for 4 p.m., even with the historic rivalry between the two. It's just, Cowboys just suck, so they shouldn't have all these games. But then we get to Sunday night. Oh, yes. Of their first rematch from the Super Bowl 2 years ago, Seahawks at Patriots. Oh, this is definitely perfect for Sunday night. And right in a good time, too, in the middle of November. This is a great time to do it. But then Monday nighter, Bengals at Giants. Oh, good. Again, stop. I know the Giants are big, have a national following, but they're fucking 6-10. They don't deserve all these night games. And the Bengals probably would fuck them up, even though I don't really trust they'll do good at all this year. And then week 11, which will be Thursday night, Saints at Panthers. This would have been better if it was at the Saints, but then again, the Panthers have so little home games this year at night, they probably have no choice but to have it this time. And then how about this? The Ravens going to the Cowboys. The Ravens have never lost to the Cowboys. Could they keep it going for another 4 years? And then Bills at Bengals, Buccaneers at Chiefs, Cardinals at Vikings. Because remember, Vikings and Cardinals went down to, I think it was overtime last year. So that would be very interesting. And then the Sunday nighter, oh god, a rematch from the wild card round last year. Packers at Redskins. For fuck's sake, the Packers fucked up the Redskins last year. Why have this for Sunday night? But then Monday nighter, which we all knew for months ahead of the time, this was going to be Texans at Raiders. It will be the first ever Monday night game outside of the country. The first game in Mexico in 11 years. And I think the the 2005 game with 49ers at Cardinals in Mexico back in 2005, I think it still was the highest attended game in NFL history. It was like 105,000. Could that be broken? That'll be interesting to see. Okay, and then we get to week 12, and we finally get to the Thanksgiving games, which I always look forward to find out who the Lions and Cowboys are going to play against, along with the final night game of Thanksgiving. And after screaming for it for years, they finally got the Lions raised. They host the Vikings. Finally, the Vikings will play on Thanksgiving for the first time since 2000. My goodness. And then we got the Redskins at Cowboys. Oh, God. Redskins played for crying out loud, the last time Cowboys, well, it's been 4 years, but come on. I had to look at the rematches again from last time, the longest streak anyone's played on Thanksgiving against the Cowboys. Because when it comes to the Thanksgiving games, I want it to be between teams that have not played on Thanksgiving in a long time. Like the Chargers have the longest streak. They haven't played on Thanksgiving since 1969 when they were still in the AFL. They should have probably been on Thanksgiving. But then we get to the other ones, Steelers at Colts. Well, it's nice to finally see an AFC team in the Thanksgiving after 2 years of not playing each other. But, oh yeah, and too, it's nice for the last game to not be a divisional round matchup again. But I'm not so sure about this because, remember, the Steelers have fucked up the Colts these last 2 years, particularly last year. Oh my god. So this is probably not a good idea at all for Thanksgiving. But then we get the Bengals at Ravens this late in the year. Man. But then, let's see the rest. Panthers at Raiders, Seahawks at Buccaneers, Chiefs at Broncos. Then we get the Sunday nighter Patriots at Jets. That would be pretty good. And then Monday nighter Packers at Eagles. Oh, God. The Eagles are shit. They shouldn't have all these night games. My God, Packers are going to... What is the NFL trying to do? Give the Packers so many night games against easy opponents for them? For crying out loud. At the Redskins, at the Eagles, at the Vikings. That'll actually be tough. Hosting the Bears, hosting the Giants. 4 out of 5 are easy as shit for them, for crying out loud. So then we get to week 13 with Cowboys at Vikings. Oh God, I don't know why. Because Cowboys, even though 4-12, gotta give them as many night games as possible. I would really like to see that one time. The Cowboys go 0-16. Now, how much you want to bet the NFL will give them all 5 night games possible? And then Chiefs at Falcons, Lions at Saints. That would be nice to see. Wasn't the Saints supposed to be at the Lions this year? That's how I remember the schedule's supposed to be. But Bills at Raiders, Giants at Steelers. No, that should not be a fucking 4 p.m. game. But then we get to Sunday night. Panthers at Seahawks. Oh, perfect. Although it would be nice if it was Monday night too, because the Monday night this week, Colts at Jets. Oh, God, no. I don't think the Jets are going to be as good as they were last year. And, oh, God, the Colts fucking suck. They should never have this many night games, for crying out loud. And remember, the Jets fucked the Colts up last year. Remember that on Monday night as well? Oh, boy. Now we get down to week 14 with Raiders at Chiefs on Thursday night. That would be good. Steelers at Bills. That would be interesting. Saints at Buccaneers. Redskins at Eagles. That went down. That was a high-scoring game last year, if I'm correct. But then we get down to Texans at Colts. This, finally, it's nice to see. Because remember, the Texans have been at the Colts 3 straight years in week 15. So it's nice that finally, not week 15 this year, but this year, week 14. But this should have been on Sunday night instead of when they were at the Texans. But then Seahawks at Packers. Yeah, that's probably good, 4 p.m. But then, oh, God. Oh, not again. Sunday night, Cowboys at Giants. Even though the Giants are 6-10, Cowboys are 4-12. Oh, for fuck's sake. How about you listen to us NFL fans? We don't want terrible teams at night games for fuck's sake. But now we get to Monday night, which is a very, very, very risky move. Ravens at Patriots. Honestly, if they were going to do this, they should have done it like in week 2 or 3 instead of week 14, because most of my family is Ravens fans, and of course they're biased, they're optimistic, they think the Ravens will greatly rebound this year, but I'm not as optimistic as them. They might rebound, but I don't think they're going to be like playoff bound like they were a couple years ago. So this is a very big risk for them to do it on Monday night this late in the year. And then week 15 with some Thursday nighter Rams at Seahawks. I would have probably rather been at the Rams, but I'm not going to complain. And the Saturday night would be Dolphins at Jets. Oh boy, the Dolphins got fucked up both times last year by the Jets, so probably not a good idea to do that again. But then we get down to the Sunday games. Colts at Vikings, that would have been interesting. Patriots at Broncos, I'm actually stunned is not a Sunday night game. I mean, for fuck's sake, both games were close last year. This is perfect for Sunday night. Or honestly, better for Monday night, which I'm going to get to in a second. And then the Sunday night are Steelers at Bengals. Oh, yes. A great idea for this late in the year. Although I wish... Then again, the Bengals are going to get kind of screwed over because I think they're going to be at the Jets and at the Steelers the first 2 weeks of the year. So I think that's perfect revenge for what they did to Antonio Brown. But then the Monday night are... Oh, God. Jets. Panthers at Redskins. Oh, Jesus Christ. The Redskins are not that fucking good. Although they played very good near the end of the year. I don't think it's going to... This is going to probably be just like it was in 2012 and 2013. Remember? 10-6 in 2013. And then collapsed to 3-13 the next year. I don't think they'll collapse that bad. But you really shouldn't give them that many night games. Because I don't think they're going to be that good. And then week 16 with Thursday night being Giants at Eagles... When was the last... I don't think they've ever played against each other on Thursday night, if I'm correct. And especially, not a good idea to have them at the Eagles, because remember, the Eagles... I don't think you remember this, NFL, but the Eagles fucked them up 2 straight times. Remember 27-0 in 2014 and 27-7 last year? The Eagles fucked the Giants up when they host them. Stop putting them a night game at the Eagles. Fuck. And then Buccaneers at Saints. Oh, that would be interesting. Jets at Patriots, very interesting as well. With Vikings at Packers. Colts at Raiders, that would be great. Cardinals at Seahawks. That would have been better if that was a night game instead of when they're at the Cardinals. But then the Sunday... Oh, that's right, it's going to be on Thursday night instead. Bengals at Texans, that would be interesting. And of course, the NFL has to be a bunch of pussies and have all the games on Christmas Eve mostly instead of on fucking Christmas. And speaking of Christmas, how about that? Ravens at Steelers, and then the Sunday nighter Broncos at Chiefs. Oh man, will the Chiefs actually not blow the game like they did last year with that fumble? And then Monday nighter Lions at Cowboys. Man, the Lions really got screwed this year. I think this is the only night game they got, and they got to go to the Cowboys, who should not have, like, barely even one night game, let alone, I think, 5? That's really fucked up if you think about it. A 4-12 team got at least 4, maybe 5 night games? That's bullshit. Well, now we get to the final week, the divisional matchups. Alright, we finish it up with the week 17 with, once again, all divisional matchups, which is fantastic, but a rematch from last year, Saints and Falcons, and then, oh god, why NFL? Why? Ever since they started doing this in 2010, the Ravens and Bengals, I'm not shitting you, have played each other last every year except 2013. Bengals at Ravens in 2010, then 2 straight times at the Bengals, and then, it was 3 times straight at the Bengals, 2011, 2012, 2013, then they got a break where the Bengals went at the Steelers, and Ravens hosted the Browns 2014, but once again, now 2 straight times where the Ravens gotta go to the Bengals? For fuck's sake, one... You know, this would have been much better if they had the Ravens at the Steelers the week for this last week. That would have been very, very, very interesting to see. But then Giants at Redskins, Texans at Titans, Panthers at Buccaneers, Packers at Lions. If you're going to put the Lions on Monday night, that should have been the Monday nighter for a rematch from Miracle at Motown last year. Oh, God, that would have been fantastic for Monday night. So Lions got screwed there. And then Jaguars at Colts, Patriots at Dolphins, a rematch from last year there. Bears at Vikings, Bills at Jets is a rematch. So this is the second straight year the Bills and Jets play each other to end the year, but at least they swapped this year. And then Cowboys at Eagles, Browns at Steelers. Again, this is the second straight year, but at least they swapped. Unlike Ravens and Bengals. Cardinals and Rams, Raiders at Broncos, that should have been better for Sunday night, Chiefs at Chargers, and then Seahawks at 49ers. And of course, as we all know, one of these games will be flexed into Sunday night. Oh, so that was my review for the schedule this year. Well, as always every year, you're never going to be pleased. Some games they got dead right, some games, well actually a lot of games this year, they got dead fucking wrong. And really, NFL, you know why we call them the NFC least right? Because Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, and Redskins are pretty much shit. Cowboys last year, oh my god, they were terrible. It was the worst season in over 20 years. Eagles were terrible. Giants were good on paper, but they were shit on the field because they couldn't stop fucking up. And the Redskins, they played good, but they're still terrible, and they'll probably collapse this year. Stop giving the NFC East so many tight games that they don't fucking deserve. Oh boy. But I can't wait for this year. Hopefully it'll be great. So I'll see you then in September.